So what I'm going to talk to you a little bit is about our reliability roadmap here. We find it's easy for layout for people to understand the kind of their reliability journey. Kind of calls out the different major components of a reliability program that you may find in a typical plant. So first of all, a lot of times you have to start with the leadership. If you notice, we start and end with leadership. So the leadership's going to set the vision, and they're going to continue the vision from day to day and keep it in practice. So what we do is with the reliability assessment, we help put you against what typical industry performance and standards, and kind of give you a feedback on how you would compare to other industries and other companies in your maybe your business unit segments and stuff. Then we move on to help you lay out an action plan from that to design for reliability. This is where you start doing planning for reliability even before the plant's built. What we find is a lot of times is you can start up quicker and faster when you have your maintenance procedures, your inventory, and your bill of materials lined up, plus other things lined up ahead of time. Moving on over to master data, making sure that all your tagging, your information, how you label and call things is standardized, because that way you can turn and find the parts when you need them, and you set your standards for all that. Then criticality ranking. Criticality rankings is something you want to do. It's like if I have $1, and I've got to spend that dollar on the most critical asset. Well, I want to know what that most critical asset is, and so that way you can identify where to spend that money and send those resources at the right time. Then we go over to maintenance strategies. This is going to be your PMs, your PM optimization. When are you going to deploy technologies, to go ahead and do measurements and instrumentation to monitor the asset, versus when am I just going to do a PM and all the things. Then we get down to craft skills. We really find that the craft skills is the big piece of this thing. A lot of companies don't have precision maintenance or are lacking in the precision maintenance skills area. As we find more and more knowledge leaving the industry through retirement and all, that backfill is of that experience is not there. So we help with companies identify where their gaps are in their craft skills and help with a training program. Then here's where we kind of start getting things into practice. So this is your work management, your planning, scheduling, and those items there. That way you can efficiently flow your maintenance program. Your maintenance program flows efficiently. Then we finally get to asset healthcare. This is where now we deploy the technologies, the predictive maintenance tools. A lot of times companies want to go right here to the tools without having some of these foundational building blocks. With having these foundational building blocks ahead of time, now when I find a problem, I have the skill sets built, and I've got the work handling all figured out, and the parts and materials, those type of things figured out. So really, this is putting instrumentation, vibration monitoring, whatever it may be, on is a small piece of a larger reliability program. So what we find with inventory management, inventory optimization, is this. We help customers tie their inventory to a bill of materials, identify those inventory items that are not tied to any assets to be optimized out. Build your bill of materials so that way when it comes time and work needs to be performed, you can identify what needs to be the bagging and tagging piece of it to have the parts ready for the mechanics or the maintenance team when they come in. Under the defect elimination piece of it, what we do there is we start identifying where those defects are, the repeat offenders. We find out that most work that's done is about 50% of the time that work has to be redone within that first year of that work being completed. So we help start identifying the defects and start working through processes of doing defect elimination and all. Then we go on to the KPIs. That's where you're going to start tracking the performance. And is all this stuff that we're doing going to is it making an impact on the performance of the plant, performance to the company, and start looking. what is the financial value that we are adding as a reliable plant and stuff like that. So on the leadership thing, as like I said at the beginning there, it is us, helping leadership, helping to make sure that the program keeps going and stuff like that. Because really it's not it doesn't have an end date like a project. A project would have a start and end date. This doesn't. This reliability journey continues on and on and on. So there's no end date like a project. So this program continues to run.